Hi everyone, Merzdog here from Merzdog's KGB, Killer Ginger Beer. Today is bottling day, which is fantastic because the beer has been fermenting for about a week and it's now time to finally finish all this off and get it into the bottles. And this is kind of the part where things get a little bit daunting. How do you condition the beer? How do you prime it? How do you get your carbonation bubbles into it? What equipment do you use? How easy how difficult is it? I'm going to prove to you right now that it's super easy and super affordable. So what you're going to need is one of two things. You're either going to be able to bottle directly out of your fermenter. So how are you going to do that? You're going to take bag number 3 and you're going to pour it directly into your liquid. Stir it up. In fact, I would probably recommend taking about a liter of it out and stirring in bag 3 and then pouring it in to here. And then you can simply dip your jug in and pour it into a funnel, which I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. That's not the way that I do it. There's another way you can do it, which is actually, that's the third way, but you can divide this bag up. So say you've got 20 bottles or 30 bottles, how many bottles? You can divide this into 20 equal portions and pour a little bit into each bottle and then top it up. But the way I do it is what we call batch priming. It's really quick and it's really easy and gets the job done the best way. So I'm going to show you how to bottle prime, to batch prime right away. And how I would do that is now I will take bag number 3 and I'll pour it into this bucket, which would be my bottling bucket. I'm not using bag 3 today because I'm doing a bit of an experimental beer that we've been working on. But just for purposes of the video, assume bag 3 goes in. Now I'm going to siphon off the liquid from the fermenter into the bottling bucket, and normally I would use my expensive Canadian siphon, which is really cool. Costs what, 800 odd bucks, and it's a handy tool, but it's difficult to get right now. Even though prohibition and lockdown and all that's coming to an end, there's just not enough of these guys around. So you don't have to panic, because it is a really easy, cheap way to get around that. And that's by simply getting this 18 millimeter diameter pipe here, which is about 2 meters long. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my homemade funnel. You won't believe how easy that was. That's just a piece of pipe into the top of this cut off Coke bottle. I slip that pipe into my siphoning pipe, take the jug, and I scoop. It's actually a very small amount of liquid. And I pour that into the siphon. And the reason that I'm going to be siphoning, and really carefully, hopefully I'm not going to duff this at all. I'm going to do it really nice and gently. Everything you see here has been sterilized, and the reason I do it as gently as possible is to prevent any air getting into, any oxygen getting into the beer. So now I'll simply take the one end and put the other end in. And now, Mrs. Cameraman, if you can just quickly have a look inside of there, one end of the siphon there, and the other end of the siphon there. So now my priming sugars from bag 3, which I've put in there, are mixing up nicely. And all I need to do is wait for the siphoning to be done, and then I can show you how to bottle. In fact, this happens so quickly with this method, and it is actually stirring up the beer without oxygenating it. So normally I would, with the Canadian, what's that, siphon, the auto siphon, it takes probably 10 to 15 minutes to finish siphoning off, but this is so quick. I think we can actually just wait for me to finish, or I'll edit this part out, who knows. Alright, we're back, and that siphoning process is now done. And for you guys who've been using expensive siphons, that's probably the point where you dry your tears and go, jeepers, I wish I'd done this a different way. Now all you've got to do is get it from there into a bottle, and that couldn't be easier as well. I've got my little jug that I've made from the plastic Coke bottle. I slip my pipe inside, and at home I've been using a Pyrex glass 1 liter jug, because this is a 1 liter PET bottle, so it's easy to measure. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop, and gently as I can I'm going to pour And because the pipe goes all the way to the bottom of the bottle, it shouldn't aerate too much. A little bit of air will get in there, but I'm sure for a ginger beer that'll be fine, and even for a regular beer that would also be absolutely fine. So I just keep watching the level as I scoop and pour so that I don't overfill it. A little bit more. Cool, there we go, and that's done. There, and I take my little bottle cap and then I just screw that on. That's it, done and dusted. Couldn't be any easier. There's a little bit of headspace here so that the yeast that's in this bottle can eat the priming sugar. It'll release CO2 into this headspace, absorb in, and then in about 5 to 7 days I'll have perfectly carbonated beer. It hasn't been spoiled by any oxidization that would have happened if I poured it in from a jug, from a heart or anything like that. So you'll have yourself some really awesome killer ginger beers in just a couple of days. So I hope you really like that. Please go to Merzdog's KGB on Facebook, click like, click share, have a look at the videos, buy some KGBs. In fact, we've also got these 1 litre brown PET bottles for sale, which makes life really easy. So hope you found that useful, and we'll catch up with you soon. Merzdog out.